All right, it's Indiana in the morning, and it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. I got to click one thing in my computer here so we can get rolling with this. And as much as I try, I just can't make it work. There, it finally happened for me. I feel better. I don't know about you ladies, but there we go. There's a brand new faith community in Indiana. It's called the Remnant, and we want to learn about it today and about an event that they have coming up. And so let's do that. Peggy Citroni is with us, and Peggy is here today. With Peggy
is Pastor Katrina Lottie.
Pastor Katrina Lottie, good to meet you.
You too.
It's good to have you with us here this morning. Our conversation is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. So tell me, what is the Remnant?
So the Remnant is a faith community. We are a United Methodist congregation, but we are specifically geared towards those. The reason we call ourselves the Remnant is for those who feel left behind or forgotten. We're a very non-traditional church. We meet on Friday nights, 6 to 7. We have food and fellowship. 7 to 8, we have worship. And 8 to 9, we have small groups. And we're just a place that seeks to help people feel like they belong. There's a lot of people who feel like church is not for them or who have been hurt by the church. A lot of people struggling in their faith and struggling with other issues who've had trouble being understood. And a lot of those people have found a place with us.
Wonderful. And where do you meet?
We meet at 480 North 4th Street. We're in the Bilo Plaza to the right of Bilo, across the street from Bob's Pizza.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So that helps us to know who you are a little bit. You also have an event coming up.
We do. So one of the programs that we offer at the Remnant is GriefShare. And part of GriefShare is that they have a standalone program, a one-day program called Surviving the Holidays. And so that's going to be held on Saturday, September the 2nd. At the Remnant. We're going to do this in beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have a catered brunch, and typically the event lasts about 2 hours, somewhere around there. So from 10 to 12 is, surviving the holidays.
Well, when we think of surviving the holidays, typically it's in a setting of, they're so hectic, it's so much to do. And sometimes we will lose sight of the real reason for the holidays, and then certainly all of those are valid. However, this is particularly for those who have suffered loss.
Correct. This is for those that are grieving. Maybe this is the first Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever that they're going to be encountering without their loved one, and so. Surviving the Holidays is put together very similar to the GriefShare program, which involves a video, which, let me just back up here a minute and say, those of us that facilitate are not experts. We're just lay people with a heart for those that are hurting. And so by using the Surviving the Holidays program from GriefShare, there is a video. There is a time where we'll have small group roundtable discussion, and then we provide them with some tools to take with them. And that way they've got something in their hand when, they need it.
One of the things about GriefShare that I admire so much is that it encompasses not only those who are going through something for the very first time, but those who have suffered loss in the past and have been helped by GriefShare. They're certainly welcome to come back as well.
Absolutely.
And their experiences help to inform the entire group as well. They bring some wonderful qualities from what they have gone through
Absolutely.
that people really need.
Absolutely. So I have been involved with GriefShare for a little over 8 years that I've been a facilitator. And so my co-facilitator, her name is Julie. We've been doing this, and so we've offered GriefShare at least twice a year because it is a 13 week program. We've extended it to include 2 extra weeks. So we're with people for 15 weeks, and we get to know them and get to walk the journey with them through their grief. And so surviving the holidays is just an extension of that. And again, we just feel really strongly about if you don't think that you want to be involved for 15 weeks with a program, surviving the holidays is a great one-day event, 2 hours, and we can meet with you and talk with you.
Now, should people sign up ahead of time?
Yes, so they can go to the GriefShare website, and that is griefshare.org/holidays, and they can use the Find a Group tool to locate our event.
Okay.
And, they can do that. I think they plug in, a zip code or a Indiana, and then, it'll come up with all the groups that are having events.
All right. So that's the easy way to sign up.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Pastor, let's learn more about the Remnant and the way that you reach out to folks. Meeting on a Friday, people would say, wait a second, that's not Sunday. I can't do that. But it's perfectly natural, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. We have a lot of ties in the community, specifically with people in recovery and with the people struggling with mental health. We go to the Chevy Chase Community Center. We have people who go there to lunch and build relationships that way. And we just have people in all kind of different areas of Indiana. And so we just really try to make relationships with people and provide a place where we can hold people's stories and just allow them to feel that they're known and that they're seen.
Tell me about it. I don't know that there's ever such a thing as a typical worship service, but what's a service like? What do you do?
So during the 7:00 worship service, we actually start with obviously announcements, but then we have a moment of centering, which I've been studying trauma for the last 2 years, and I've learned that that's just really important to kind of bring us into the moment and push away the stress. So we have a moment of centering. Then we have some music. We have some hymns and some praise and worship. Then we have a sermon. Pastor Jenny Gordon is my co-pastor, and usually she or I are preaching. And then at the end, we'll either have people pray for each other, or we'll do prayer with anointing. And then afterwards, we have small groups, and the small groups have questions that are based on the sermon, often questions that have a little bit of a Celebrate Recovery feel to them, often.
Sure. And the helpfulness of an event like that for folks who've really not found their footing.
Yes.
In a more traditional worship service.
Yes.
I would guess that the stories are pretty powerful.
They absolutely are. And we have seen some, what I consider to be miracles. We've seen people slowly just coming into their own. People who have never felt, at least stated that they've never felt that they belonged before, are coming out of their shell and building relationships, feeling connected. People who have never really had the opportunity to share their gifts are starting to discover their gifts and to share them and to use them.
Peggy, tell me a little bit about the origins of the Remnant, how you came to be, because it's a very big step to do what you've done.
It is a very big step. And let me just piggyback here a moment. Excuse me. With the Remnant, we started having discussions around this when disaffiliation with the United Methodist Church began. And we wanted to, there were a group of us that still wanted to remain United Methodist. And so, we started, basically spitballing, what can we do? How can we do this? And then, as Katrina said, she's been studying trauma, and so one thing led to another, and we started, well, what if we had not only a place for those that wanted to remain United Methodist, but also we made it a space, a safe space for those that have never been a part of a church or they've been hurt. Because there were a lot of stories from a lot of our folks that they just were starting to get defeated. And so, one thing led to another, and, we started, putting together some ideas, and the next thing you know, we're, signing a lease and, just, we like to refer to the Remnant as the non-traditional church in the non-traditional place at the non-traditional time for everyone.
There you go. And it's a traditional God.
Absolutely.
Well, and one thing I did want to state is we have people, even though we are United Methodist, we have people from all different denominations. Some people, that is their church, their only church, but about half our congregation actually go to other churches on Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Catholic and non-denominational and Global Methodist and United Methodist and just a host of different denominations.
Yeah, all coming together.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's talk about where people can go to learn more about you. Obviously, they can show up at 7 o'clock on Friday night.
Actually, they can show up at 6 o'clock on Friday night and have a meal with us.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's a part of it too, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, terrific. But there are other ways that people can learn, other resources
Yes,
online?
so we currently, Facebook, if they go to the Remnant Faith Community, they can find us. And we try to, keep that page really current with what's happening. Our website is still being built, so don't have that to share. And yeah, just, Friday nights, come to the Bilo Plaza and find us at the right-hand side there, right next to 119.
And do keep in mind surviving the holidays.
Absolutely. And the upcoming GriefShare. Yes.
So those are all events that are just ready to start, and we want to make sure people know about that, take advantage of it. Ladies, thanks so much for coming in to visit with us. We appreciate that very much.
Thank
Thank
for having
you.
us.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.